Well, it is just another day at work for the Hurricaners. There they are, flying through. Tropical storm Imelda, all kinds of lightning out there, too.
Just a casual flight.
Yeah,
it's fine.
No big deal.
I think they suspend beverage service for a second, but then they just, it's
they find a way. They got to keep hydrated on these multi-hour flights. They're flying for 10, 12 hours sometimes.
Yeah. It is wild. The turbulence, the view, part of the job, and again, trying to, drink out of that water bottle while you're also bumping up and down.
And if you're assuming that you'd rather be flying Imelda because it's a weaker storm, tropical storms and Cat 1 hurricanes can be a bumpier ride because it's not as consistent of a thunderstorm structure. It can be ups and downs big time.
You're really selling it, Dr. Knapp.
Well,
but there they are, Imelda and Umberto, side by side here. Umberto's been surprisingly strong for a surprisingly long amount of time.
Oh, man. And as it goes northward around Bermuda, even as it weakens a little bit, it's going to get larger and larger, and we're going to feel those waves all up and down the East Coast. And then you got Imelda adding to the mix.
That's been the theme of this hurricane season. It's been all about the waves as opposed to actual landfalls, just the coastal issues. This week, no exception.
We'll take it. We just got to be smart at the coast this week.
Indeed we do. All right, Dr. Rick Knapp, Alex Wilson, I'm Mike Bettis. We've got everything you need to know about the tropics this evening. The good news is, after we get past these two systems, maybe we'll just take another breather again, hopefully.
And we'll go back to the upper troughs and the fronts over Florida.
Yes, we do. At least, we stick with what we know. We understand it. We prepared for it. Showers at times, downpours that we continue to deal with here with the outer bands of Imelda, bringing some of that rain, especially to the coastal area. So observed rainfall over the last 3 days. Now, remember, this includes rainfall that's not associated with our tropical system. Late last week, we had rain falling across sections of the southeast. So some areas through parts of central and eastern South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia have seen 1 to 2+ inches of rain just in the past few days. Now, early part of the week, Imelda and Umberto will be steering some of that moisture westward. So we'll see some showers across sections of the southeast, very similar to what Mike just showed us in the state of Florida. So we've got some scattered rain, at times some heavier downpours, and that's very much going to be what we're watching for across Georgia, across South Carolina, and across North Carolina, especially the eastern part of those states. Now, our upper low across the southeast U.S. also helping to add the lift. And when you've got lift, or you've got very moist air being lifted, you'll get some of those downpours. And so with that will come the chance that we could see some flash flooding. It's the lowest end risk, but it's a risk of flash flooding across sections of South and North Carolina, a little bit of coastal Georgia as well. Because remember, we've already seen rain through last Friday and over the weekend. And now with rain showers back in play, we could be looking at just too much of a rainy thing. Thunderstorms down near Wilmington, some offshore of Georgetown. We've got some heavier downpours and thunderstorms from the Outer Banks now moving into interior parts of North Carolina. Again, they're pretty scattered, but there have been areas where the rainfall rates go up in intensity. You get some rumbles of thunder. And so that's why we've got that opportunity for flash flooding, little moderate rain around places like Gaffney, South Carolina right now. Future radar does show that trend continues here through the evening, overnight, and into the day tomorrow. It is very much waves of rain. There will be periods of dry time. There will be periods of rain showers and thunderstorms. This continues into Tuesday evening. By Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, you can see a lot of that shower action is done as Imelda makes that turn and cloud cover also begins to disappear. We'll see some more sunshine into Wednesday. Well, officials in Dare County, North Carolina, they're warning that high tides could make parts of Highway 12 impassable. Our senior national correspondent, Justin Michaels, joins us live from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Justin, looks like people out there taking in the waves. Luckily, no one in the water.
No one in the water.
Well, we've got two tropical systems off the coast, and that means danger in the water. We've talked about the rough surf, the big waves, but rip current danger also high, and it's most of the southeast states. In fact, all the way to South Florida, high danger of rip current today. Coastal sections of Georgia, coastal sections of South Carolina and North Carolina. For the most part, majority of beaches are under that high danger of rip current. So if you are heading to the beaches, absolutely critical you swim near the lifeguards. Well, places like Folly Beach, South Carolina, they're going to be dealing with rip currents, wind, and waves. Meteorologist Jim Cantori has more.
Here we are in Folly.
Waterfront. But the Carolinas, especially there in the Outer Banks, we have seen the issues when it comes to tropical systems. We look back at October 2009, of course, Highway 12 moving through the Rodanthe area where the beach is, and you can see how the coastline has moved inward. So we've lost some of that coastline, and that's why we've got some of those homes basically in the water, if not truly in the water. We've lost some of those. Also, Highway 12, they moved that, so actually worked it back through the Sound. Back in December 2019, that was not the case. We had the road right there on the Outer Banks. Now, as of February 2022, we've got the road going back behind the Outer Banks area. But this season, it's been all about the waves. We haven't had the storms really making landfall, with the exception of Chantal. What we've had are these storms that got closer, made the turn, but churned up the ocean. And so brought us the big waves, brought us the dangerous rip currents, brought us some other coastal issues, coastal erosion, coastal flooding. And this storm, or this pair of storms, really will be no exception. There's Imelda and Humberto's current tracks, both moving out. Systems that we've got here off the U.S. coastline. When we look at our globe, well, they disappeared, but they'll be back in a second. Things there, two storms, both moving away, but both leaving the ocean kind of churned, like when you start the waves in your own bathtub, but this on a much larger ocean scale. So things active here along the East Coast. And of course, we've got to watch Bermuda, because this island not in the forecast cone for Humberto. It's going to be a pass off to the the west of the island. Bermuda stays to the east of Humberto, and then the storm actually curves north of the island before it exits stage right. But look at Imelda's forecast cone. Imelda makes that northeast turn, continues to move northeast. Bermuda really right down the middle of that forecast cone. Now, to get a direct hit on the island, obviously not easy. This is a speck in the middle of a very, very large ocean, but certainly in play for Imelda. Now, the island of Bermuda sees a landfalling tropical system once every 6 to 8 years. So while it may feel like it should be more often, it's not necessarily common. But impacts to the island, they've come from multiple storms, even without a direct landfall. So how can such an isolated spot handle situations like this? Meteorologist Stephanie Abrams explains.